Hello and welcome to another video. I'm doing a review video today of Hyperdimension Neptunia MK2 on the PlayStation 3. And unlike my normal videos, this is actually a review of a game that was localized and released here in the US. And this is always something that I intended to do, when there are cool games that are actually released here, especially because I really want to support that effort of the localization of good games from Japan. So I want to let everybody know what I think of this. And as you can see from this huge list of developers here at the beginning of the game, a lot of different companies were involved in the development of this, and the concept is really cool. There was a game in the series previous to this, and the premise is really that you have these sort of anthropomorphized representations of the current generation of video game consoles that are vying for power in the game industry world, and they are threatened. The evil, bad people are the pirators. You have R4, which is the evil organization they are working against, which is a reference to the R4 device, which allows you to play backed up games on the Nintendo DS. So it's a very tongue-in-cheek, very kind of clever, interesting take on really the current state of the gaming industry. And I have to admit, like, at one point in this game, one of the things that really impressed me about it actually is you have this very direct confrontation between these two characters where they kind of discuss very outright like some of the arguments that you'd have on either side. And it's they were very cognizant of some of the arguments for and against being able to pirate games for these systems, for instance. But let's take a look at the battle here. What we're doing right now is we're starting off with some regular combos, and you can see when we start the combo we actually get these little EX symbols. If we have enough AP, it'll actually tell us with these symbols how we could form a chain, and we have some good strong enemies in this game that can really do a number on us in just one round, but thankfully it's 4 against 1, so we have the advantage in terms of turns here. So our goal is going to be to heal up, and we have this sort of spatial positioning, so we actually have to get Compa in the right position there to be able to heal everybody, so that's one element of the gameplay. And actually the reason we're starting off with these combos was so that we could build up enough SP to do some of these special skills, like what IF just did there. And I believe that we're going to be able to do a skill here. We can do Mirage Dance with Nepgear. So let's go ahead and do that. So a lot of the battle involves sort of managing your AP and your SP in order to be able to pull off your special skills. And I mean, it takes AP even to do simple things like use an item here to revive Nisa, which is the Nipponichi character in the game. Nepgear actually represents Sega. Well, actually, they're not really listed in the credits now that I think of it, but I believe Sega was involved in the development, and she represents a non-existent current gen Sega system, if such a thing existed. Yeah, so we have obviously just sort of straight up RPG style battles, and then we've also got these sequences of these sort of cutscene text sequences. Some of them are voice acted and some of them are not. But here we can see, and we're going to see another character who is representing a company in the game, not actually a video game console. This is 5PB. And it's interesting because as far as I know, the company started off as a music label. I think they still are a record label. And they started making games. So appropriately, this character is a pop singer. And here we have another character that represents a company. This is Cave. And we're very appropriate because we're in the area of Leanbox, which represents the Xbox, and Cave is a Japanese developer who's has a good relationship apparently with Microsoft and has released a lot of shooters on the Xbox. So a lot of just nods to real life relationships that these companies have with the different platforms. But here we have the Chirper service here that you can access in the towns, and it's obviously a nod to Twitter. But you want to keep an eye on this because you can unlock scenes with the various characters by doing this. So here you can see we went to Chirper and there was an event available, so we clicked on that, and now we have a little conversation here with Gust. Gust, of course, being the developer of the Atelier games. And here you can see she's talking about alchemists, and again, just making reference really for fans of these other games. It's really neat to just get the references in this game. It kind of brings together a lot of companies and a lot of characters that are I think well loved amongst especially sort of RPG and Japanese video game enthusiasts. So we've received a plans for an item there, and also Gust's affection has gone up. So let's take a look and see what that would actually do for us. Here we can go to the Lily rank, and we can see how much each character likes us. So we can see that right now IF is our #1 fan, and Kampa is way up there. Followed by Nisa and then the other characters. So that's doing those chirper events is a really good way to raise characters' affection towards you. Here we can see we've got the CG gallery, various things that we've unlocked. And let's just go ahead and we'll sort of look through the menu here. The Netpedia is, I believe, all the tutorials that we've done so far in the game. You can check those out again if you want. Character info, so the normal blurb. And then we have these sound clips.
Hey, you got a text message.
So it almost seems like the kind of thing I guess you could record and actually use on your cell phone when you get a text message, I guess. So that's kind of cool. You can unlock those as you go through the game. We have enemy info. So here's a Dogu. We can zoom in on it, rotate it, all that normal stuff. We can see how many times we've defeated them and what sort of items they've dropped for us, which apparently I've really had bad luck getting the uncommon and rare items from those enemies. Dungeon info, this just tells you, what different enemies you can get in the different dungeons. And here we have the share data. So we've got the world share of each of the companies, each of the consoles, what shares they own in each of the areas. And that's important for the endings that you can get. And these different quests that you do will actually affect the shares that each console owns in each area. So that's something to be aware of. Here's where we can arrange our party, and we can actually partner each of our characters up with another character. Here we can see we switched Nisa in to be a partner with Nepgear here at the top. And so the partnering the characters up can actually be important. In battle, there are some skills that you would use that require you to be partnered with a certain character. You can also use it when you're synthesizing items. Sometimes it requires you're partnered up with a character. So here we can just see all of these weapons and things like that. They're actually individual use. So only certain characters can use certain of those weapons. Armor anybody can use. Ornaments, again, anybody can use. Well, for the most part. There might be some individual use ones. And you can see who's using one. You actually have to be selected on the character in order to see what stat increases or decreases it's going to have for each character. But those are accessories. Those are mostly visual, but you can see there's some stat adjustments. The processors are only going to be for the CPUs. We also have, those are just crafting items, and these are plans. So we can see Gust's Panacea was something that we got when we talked to Gust there. And then these game discs I think are used in like skills that we get later in the game. So let's just go ahead and take a quick look at item synthesis. Here we are with the various items that we can synthesize, and we have stuff for an eject button and forbidden twig. So let's go ahead and make an eject button. And there we go. That was easy as that. And so the only thing that's tough about synthesizing is that you need the plans, and you need the materials, and sometimes you need a character. Like here we would need Compa partnered up with us, and she'd have to like us enough too. So there's that. Let's take a look at the shop really briefly. So here we can buy all of those things we looked at. Here we can buy key items, which are these plans for making these various items. So if we wanted to get Netbolt C and be able to craft that, that would cost us 7,500 credits here. We also have these, the CPU units that we can use with some of the characters. We've got all the accessories here we can purchase. Let's go ahead and get this green sailor outfit for Nepgear. We can see what that looks like. We've got, these different accessories there. We've got armor. These are weapons. Again, individual use. So let's go over to Gust, and let's just go ahead and pick up this Gale staff for her. That's an obvious stat improvement. And you could see that eject button that we crafted would actually cost 25,000 credits, which in the scheme of how many credits we have isn't so bad, but crafting your stuff can obviously save you in that respect. So let's go ahead and equip Gust's staff here. I'll swap that out for the broom that she had previously. And we'll take a look at what that green sailor outfit looks like on Nepgear. There it is. So those have an aesthetic effect as well as affecting your stats. But really those accessories and things you're going to be getting mostly just to kind of dress your characters up. An exception might be like the glasses that she's wearing right there. I actually got specifically to up her intelligence. So here, you can see this character, this enemy that's roaming around in the background. That's actually significantly tougher than the other enemies in the area. So you have to look out for that kind of thing.
Couldn't even win against such a weak opponent. Can't believe it. I found her! Hey, Uni! You. Everyone's really worried about you. Come on, let's go back.
So I really like the scenes in this game, and this really represents the culmination of a pretty long relationship that we've had with Uni here so far, and they actually deal with real issues. I mean, there's some real drama with the characters. I mean, she's struggling with her self-esteem there, and it's it's actually like a real story. It's kind of neat like that. I mean, at least in terms of the characters. And there's some great references to the properties that these various companies, produce. That was the Metal Upa attack, which features the Metal Upa, a very key item from the Steins Gate series, which is a series of 5 PBs. So it's neat to see that all of those little references creep in here. Although I am a bit dismayed that the translator mistranslated that as Metal Whooper, but it appears that they may not have been familiar with the original series, or who knows, maybe somebody else has gotten the rights to Steins Gate here in the US and they weren't able to use it, or something along those lines. But at any rate, this is a really neat game, and it's a good mixture of RPG elements. I think the battle system is a huge improvement over the first one. My only complaint might be that especially later on in the series you have some struggles with. It really comes down to managing your AP and your SP and really getting your SP up there. Maybe I just didn't know some tricks or techniques for managing that well, but at some points I just found myself going, ooh, I just wish I had some more SP. But really, this is a cool game. It is rated mature for some of the content, so just be cognizant of that. But if you like RPGs, especially Japanese RPGs and games that are this style, this is really neat. And especially if you like the idea and you're a fan of any of the other games from the other companies that contributed to this game, I think it's a lot of fun as a fan. I think it's really kind of fan-oriented for those that like Japanese RPGs and visual novels and that sort of thing. So definitely a very cool game that I recommend that you check out.